Does watching YouTube videos about building self-discipline actually work? Does it help in any way? Well, it turns out that it actually does, because of the single reason that the things that you know and believe play a huge or a massive role in shaping your reality. And I'm not just talking in abstract terms, but rather I'm talking in practical and real terms. And this is something that has been proven scientifically. You may have heard about the research that claims that willpower is a limited resource. We often use this to explain our after-work indulgences, and these include binging on Netflix, social media, etc. Carol S. Dweck, who's a researcher at MIT, found in her studies that ego depletion, or the concept that willpower is a limited resource and therefore by the end of the day you tend to have less self-discipline, was seen only in people who thought that willpower was indeed a limited resource. Those participants who did not see willpower as finite did not show signs of ego depletion. Interesting, isn't it? That may explain why our mothers seem to have so much energy even after a tough day at work. And guess what? What you believe is shaped by what you hear and by the things that you get convinced about. Let's now discuss some powerful tools that can bring about incredible changes in anyone. We all know that success is not overnight, and this is where discipline comes into play. Recently, I launched a new course on Udemy which teaches data structures and algorithms. It's a very detailed course, and I've experienced days when I felt tired and didn't want to push forward. In this process, I've learned some powerful techniques to build self-discipline, and I want to share them with you in this video. I really believe that changing our approaches and attitudes to things can make a huge difference in the results that we can produce. So let's dive right in. Productivity does not have to be pretty. Did you know that during World War I, there were men in trenches wearing gas masks with bombs exploding nearby, and they were scribbling in their little books, in journals, hoping that if they survived this, someday they may publish something. This is something that Matthew Dix talks about in his amazing book, Someday is Today. This is something that has been very useful for me personally. I used to have this experience. If everything was not perfect and I did not have, let's say, 2 or 3 hours set apart to work without distraction, I would end up doing just nothing. But this new approach has changed the way that I approach my creative work. Even if I get just a bit of time, like before bed because I had to take care of other stuff, I use that time to work on projects I care about. Sometimes you can be surprised at how much work you can get done by just using these pockets of time. Let me now tell you 2 more tips that you can combine with this concept over here that we have just discussed to truly build self-discipline and achieve more of what you want in life. Start small, design for quick wins, value consistency over the action itself. There are many days when I feel overwhelmed with the amount of work that is pending. In such situations, I tend to procrastinate. I just watch videos or do something else to avoid the pain of having so much to do but not being able to do it. What's worse is when such situations happen, I tend to feel paralyzed and nothing moves at all. What helped me immensely to overcome this challenge is the realization that I just have to move forward. When we hear the sentence, move forward, what comes to our mind is probably a huge leap ahead. But really, even a tiny move is still progress. The only difference is that starting small helps you to actually start. Then, as you build momentum, you tend towards making the leap that you desired. I use this always. Even when I sat down to write the script for this video, initially I did feel stuck, and implementing this technique helped me to get started and get moving forward. When I thought about writing the whole thing, I was stuck. I changed my focus to write just a line. Then I'd research just a bit, and so on. I started to build momentum, and then the words started flowing effortlessly. Set the exact goal before you start. This is another powerful tool that I discovered. When you have a huge target and you have no clarity, there is a high probability to get confused. You feel that you can start at point A, and then you think, maybe no, I should start at point B. This ultimately leads to procrastination. What has helped me to overcome this challenge is to have clear goals. Well, I don't aim to be profound in this video. My only aim is to be as clear as possible. So let me make it very clear for you. So what I did was I had a very clear checklist for adding each lesson to this course, and all I focused on was on moving forward and not on taking leaps. And by just moving forward, I experienced many steps adding up to a leap, and this kept repeating again and again. Trust that with time, things will improve. I also learned a powerful thing about discipline. Things that seem hard when you start, something like writing every day or working on a side project every day, will seem easier with time as you keep at it. The first few days, it may feel daunting, but then soon you will find that it becomes part and parcel of your everyday life, and then you can do more and more with much less effort as the days keep going on. So do trust the time, and remember, things will improve with time. I believe a tool is something that helps anyone make things that are concepts and kind of a little bit abstract really practical. Now, starting small and having the exact goal before you are great concepts, but in my experience, I needed something to make this practical, and this is where checklists have been a game changer for me. In this video over here, I discuss this in great detail with a lot of examples. Do check it out.